Have you ever walked into a room and felt like you didn't belong, or watched someone else get all the attention nothing at all attempted? What if I told you it's not about looks or luck, but habits? Yes, we're going to get into those rare, very nearly hidden habits that could really improve your social status. But first, let's talk about some ideas about what these habits are. Do you know what Stoicism is? It is an old philosophy that teaches people how to control themselves. And fortitude, as a way to get rid of disruptive emotions. The Stoics were all about mastering their inner game and being in charge of what they could. Letting go of everything else. And guess what? That's exactly what we want to happen. If we want to improve our social standing, we don't have to change who we are to fit a certain mold. It's about making what we already have better by picking up some strong habits. The talk today is like a modern take on the Stoic philosophy of how to be the master of your own vibe. In any room you walk in to get ready, because of some of these habits may surprise you that they're not your common advice. Like smile more or just be yourself. We're going to look more closely at the things that really make a person stand out. People who give off a confident vibe that is both commanding and approachable. Or do you appear to be trying too hard? What they have is unique. But I'll tell you a secret. It is not unique. It can be learned. And it's all about the subtle art of presence. What you say and yes, how you act when things don't go as planned. Think about going to your next social event with more than just good intentions. But today, we're going to talk about how to be truly magnetic with a solid game plan. Learn how to be present. When you start talking isn't one of the most important things in a social setting. It's the moment. As you walk into the room, think about the last time you really noticed someone coming in. What did they do that attracted you? It probably wasn't just what they were wearing. Some people might call it a flashy smile or the way they carried themselves. The Stoics would call it being present. If you want to learn how to use your moral will wisely, read prohoresis, a performance that show rests confidence and desire. Even before a word is spoken, when you're present, your qualities all come together like an invisible thread. It's how you use the power that makes people want to know more about you. How you posture, how you look, and even how you feel can communicate without words. You walk into a room. Let's break it down first. Look at your posture. It's what makes you present. The Stoics weren't just about mental exercises. They knew how important physical bearing was for philosophical debates. Being straight wasn't just about health for them. It was a sign of their mental health. It showed that the mind was in order, so when you walk into any room, hold your back straight, lift your head, and pull your shoulders back. This isn't just about, if you want to look confident, you have to feel it from the inside out. Next, think about how you touch your eyes. This is a good place to find balance. Too little, and you look bored or shy. Too much, and you can fall off. When you're confrontational, it's important to keep eye contact that feels natural. And when you look someone in the eyes, let it be a moment of connection. Not only are you looking at them, you're also seeing them and recognizing their presence just as strongly. As you project your own recognition of this shared moment is where real connections happen. Let's talk about the energy. You bring this into a space. It's more than just feeling energized or beaten. The Stoics taught us that it's about how you feel or your vibes. Either let our emotions rule us or allow them to, and this has never been more important. You can have better interactions with other people when you go into a room with good open energy. Not only do you set the stage for how other people see you, but also how they will interact with you. This doesn't mean you have to be the party star or the loudest voice in the room. Being truly at ease with yourself and content with your surroundings is what it means. Being present means being open to the interactions that come your way. Also, it means being ready to talk before you even walk into the room. Take a moment to gather your thoughts and remind yourself of your worth and why you're here. It could be as easy as a quick mental affirmation or a moment of deep thought. This practice aligns with focusing on your breath and centering yourself. What you wanted to do and how you did it so that when you walk into the room, you're not only present in person, but also present in your mind. But what about those days? When do you not feel confident? This is where another Stoic habit comes in handy. Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher who used visualization. Often wrote about getting his mind ready for the day's troubles. You can use the same technique. If you want your upcoming social interactions to go well, picture yourself walking into the room, having meaningful conversations, and making a good impression. As you think about the part, your brain and body get ready to play it when the time comes. Finally, presence is also about being flexible, which is another important idea in Stoic philosophy. Being able to read the room and change how you act based on what you see is a sign of a truly wise person. And socially awareness person. If the setting is more formal, that you are present may be less restrictive and respectful at a casual event. You can afford to be more open and calm. This ability to change how you're present without losing who you are is what makes a person deserve respect and real love. Listen more than you talk. Simply listening is a powerful social tool that we often forget about. Not just nodding along while someone talks while you wait for your turn to speak up. In our fast-paced world, real listening is an active, interesting, and, to be honest, pretty rare skill. There is always a world where everyone is ready to say what they think at the drop of a hat. Listening. Really. Listening can make your talks with other people better. You see, listening is a way to show respect, and it's an important part of life. The Stoics, including Xenophon and Crucifer, believed in the power of the mind. It was important to them that we listen to understand, not just to respond. More often than not, we use other people's words to help us learn and see things from different angles. You're not only getting information when you listen carefully, you're also showing the speaker that you pay attention, that you care about their ideas and time. This builds trust and respect. When you actively listen, you pick up things that are hard to get any other way. A lot more than just hearing image you. In a talk conversation where you're really absorbed, it's not enough to just hear what someone says. You also pick up on what they mean, on how they feel, what they say, and what they say in their speech. This level of interest lets you respond more carefully, which makes the conversation more interesting. The Stoics' practice made this more meaningful for everyone involved. By putting all of their attention on the present moment and the person they are with, developing a state of mind that makes interactions easier and encourages active listening. What you say in talks. When you really listen, you learn what to say with relevance and depth, which makes your relationships better. For example, when someone shares their own story, do not right away offer advice or your own story. Perhaps you could ask them how that event made them feel or what they learned from it. This shows that you're not just taking part in the conversation, you care about it. This can be especially helpful in places where building support is important, like networking events or team meetings. But how can you become a better listener? First, you need to be fully present. People all over the world look at their phones or around the room a lot while they're talking. Giving someone your full attention is an important stage that could help to think of every talk as a Stoic exercise in self-control and mindset. You choose to focus on the other person and turn off any other things that might get in the way. Call on the speaker to do little verifications like nodding, or simple interventions like things like, "I see," or "that sounds hard," can go a long way. These cues let the speaker know that you are paying attention and value what they are saying. This not only makes the speaker feel valued, but it also makes the conversation more lively and fun. Keep in mind that good listeners can tell when to ask a question based on the flow of the conversation. Double-ended questions that get the speaker to share more in-depth thoughts. The way you feel, what happened next, and any other questions. These are techniques that can open up the conversation and give more depth and insight. Not only of people talking together, but also of philanthropical questions like the Socratic method. What is the most essential type of philosophical discussion for becoming a great listener? You can also think about what you've heard, which is a technique called reflective listening. This not only shows that you paid attention, but it also helps you understand better. For both of them, you could say something like, "That sounds like a really rewarding experience for you." This reflection does more than just acknowledge the speaker's feelings, but also encourages them to keep share. Show what you don't expect. There is something naturally interesting about someone who can surprise you. It's that moment when you think you know them well, but then they reveal a layer you didn't see coming. What's the point of being unpredictable just for the sake of it? It's about showing those unique sides of yourself. It's about letting your hidden sides shine that makes you well. Just when everyone thought they had seen everything there is to see about Stoicism, we are reminded of how important it is to know ourselves and be honest, which is something the Stoics stress. Really knowing yourself, which includes accepting and showing parts of yourself that might not be clear at first glance. Think about Marcus Aurelius. He was both a Roman emperor and a philosopher who thought a lot about life. His writings show a side of him that many people might not expect when they talk about personal growth and virtue. What a strong leader has to say about his own problems in a thoughtful, introspective, and working to make ourselves better. So how does this apply to how we interact with other people? Well, you're not just adding depth when you let your unexpected skills shine through. To your social persona, you're asking people to think again about their first impressions and connect with you on a more detailed level. For example, maybe you know this. Imagine the surprise of your co-workers when they learn that you are the analytical, reserved type. When you are in charge of a community volunteer event, show an honest, passionate side. Or maybe you're always ready with a joke and the life of the party, but then you share a deep thought, a well-informed opinion on a book that isn't just fun to read, but also very philosophical. People will remember you because of these revelations, not just because they surprise them. A lot of the time, they start conversations and can change how people see you. To deeper relationships built on trust and real curiosity, it can also be very refreshing to show different parts of your personality. It keeps your social interactions interesting and keeps you from getting stuck in a pigeonhole. Into a single identity. To form this habit, first think about what parts of yourself you tend to keep dark. What hobbies, talents, or thoughts do you usually wait to share? Maybe you're good at painting a picture of your love for classical music. If you only care about astronomy or getting paid to do it, these interests might seem out of character to you. Really knows you, but they are part of what makes you complex and whole. Adding to and reacting to conversations is another way to deal with the unpredictable. It teaches people the value of moderation and restraint, but it also encourages them to be wise. And confusion, you can use this by choosing times to interact with insights or opinions that others may not expect from you. This doesn't mean that you're contrary, not just because you can, but because you want to contribute in ways that make things better. Do use different perspectives to reach the discussion, and don't underestimate the power of humor to show what you didn't expect. A plentiful joke or a smart remarks can change attacks and turn heads, especially if it comes from someone not usually linked. If you have a light heart, humor can help you connect with other people. When people share laughter and joy, it creates new ways for them to interact with each other. It's also important to think about the situation and the right time to reveal these unexpected traits. The Stoics wouldn't support randomness for its own sake. Instead, they'd suggest that these news should help people understand and get in touch with each other, not just shocks or impress them. That's why it's important to know when to share something unexpected for it to have the most positive effect. Creating an experience that is memorable and important for everyone involved by bringing out the unexpected is about making the tapestry of who you are more beautiful in other people's eyes. It's about challenging how people see you and getting other people to be open to the complexity of human character. As you talk about more of these strange traits, you'll not only notice a change, but you'll also feel it. You become more in how other people interact with you and how you see yourself. Then just one thing. You are a set of stories, talents, and ideas that are always changing. Grace in the fire. Picture this. You're in the middle of a presentation when all of a sudden the tech locks up. The screen goes blank and everyone is looking at you. What do you do next? For many, this could easily turn into a panic attack. But imagine if you could handle it with calm. You make a lighthearted joke that even surprise you smoothly transition to talk about it until the problem is fixed. And please stay calm, my friend. This is what it means to have grace under fire, and it changes how people see it respectfully. We learn from Stoicism that grace works even when things are tough. Stocks like Seneca and Epictetus show what kind of person you are, stress how important it is to stay calm in the face of outside events. They thought that the only way to the real cause of our bad luck was bad behavior, and everything else was out of our control. So when you keep your cool in tough situations, you're basically stocking your emotions on how you respond to the mistake, not the mistake itself. Let us break down why this is so important in your social interactions. First, it sets a tone of leadership. Being calm in a crisis is often a sign of strong leadership. It gives others confidence that you can depend on others and handle problems. This is very important. It's important in professional settings where a lot is at stake, but it's also important in personal ones. Whether you're dealing with a family emergency, a fight between friends, or some other problem you hadn't seen coming, also, your ability to stay calm can help calm other people down as well. You can think more clearly when you don't let panic set in while you're under fire if you keep your grace. You can look at the situation more logically and come up with better solutions. Stoicism teaches us to separate our responses to events from the events themselves, so we can focus on what is reasonable. This doesn't mean you don't feel stress. It means you don't let it rule your life. Your actions at this level of haughtiness also make you more credible. People trust people who can handle stress better because they think those people are smarter and trustworthy. Think about it. Would you rather follow someone who breaks down when they're under a lot of stress? Or someone who can go through it without getting stuck? The answer is very clear, and it shows how much how you handling stress can change how others see you. So how do you develop this trait? It starts with being aware of yourself. Take a moment to think about how you usually handle stress. Do you tend to panic, or do you shut down? Seeing your natural tendencies is the first thing you need to do to change them. Next, try stress reduction techniques like deep breathing and mindfulness. Or either preemptive meditation. These tools can help you keep up. Keeps you calm in real time when those unpredictable things happen. Another Stoic technique is the premeditation of evils, visualizing possible problems and getting their mind ready for them. This can make you less sensitive to real stressors when they happen, because you've already been through them. How to handle them in your mind, like if you're anxious about an important meeting, spend some time picturing different situations that could go wrong, and make a plan for how you would like to respond to them. Reminder 2. That keeping grace under fire is a skill that gets better with use. Begin with small stresses in your daily life. Try to respond to small annoyances with the same level of peace that you want to show. During major crises, this could mean not getting angry when you're stuck in traffic, how to deal with a rude online comment with a poisonous viewpoint. Every little practice strengthens you and gets you ready for bigger tests. Grace Under Fire is about embodying the Stoic ideal of a spirit that can't be shaken in the face of trouble. It's not just about getting through tough situations, it's also about thriving in them. Taking a balanced and thoughtful approach as you develop this skill. You'll not only improve your social standing and influence, but you'll also develop a stronger sense of self, of personal peace and strength, which in turn strengthens a life lived not because of external circumstances, but because of one's own internal style to say it. Are you aware that the clothes someone wears can tell you a lot about them before they even speak? It's like every outfit is a statement about who you are, a nonverbal cue that lets us see more about you. Anything about someone's personality or even their mood, now I'm not saying. Even though we shouldn't judge a book by its cover, there's no denying that what we wear makes a big difference. It changes how we are seen, and more importantly, how we see ourselves. It's not enough to dress to impress people. You need to show who you are. That lines up with your inner self, which is a very Stoic way to look at yourself. Stoicism teaches us the value of being genuine and honest with ourselves in our thoughts. This philosophy tells us to focus on what we can control, both in words and actions, to live in harmony with our true nature and to show this in the way we dress. It suggests picking attire that shows who we really are, instead of one that fits. To what other people think this is about choosing clothes that fit more than just our body. We should also think about our souls when you dress to express yourself. You choose clothes based on your own personal style and comfort level instead of what's popular, or what society expects of you. This could mean wearing bright colors because they make you feel better, or picking minimalist clothes because they show that you live a straightforward, no-fuss life. It's important to be intentional about what you wear. Each piece you choose should fit into a larger whole. Sharing who you are. This way of doing things not only makes you feel better about yourself, what you do with other people when you are comfortable and prideful in how you look. It helps you stand taller, speak with more confidence, and be more open. The fact that someone is real makes people respect and be drawn to them. This is very powerful for people who know themselves and are not afraid to show it. Dressing to express yourself is important in both personal and professional settings. Take the time to figure out what styles work best for you. This is a form of self-care. What fabric you like the most, and what attire makes you feel the most strong. Being mindful about what you wear can be a very satisfying exercise. Every day, people who do self-reflection and self-expression do something that says, "I am worth this effort" is another way to represent yourself. Through dressing, you should be aware of the circumstances you're dressing for. Stoicism doesn't support being oblivious to your surroundings, but rather understanding them and making changes based on what they say, without losing who you are. Like wearing something that makes you feel good, but it's also appropriate for the event and shows that you respect both of them. What your interactions are about is finding that balance where your personal style fits the situation. But what about those days when you feel like you don't have anything to wear or that something is wrong? The Stoic practice of perception comes into play. Remember that it's not about the clothes themselves, but how you see them and what they mean to you. The right accessories or a different mix of clothes can make an outfit look completely different. Sharing a new part of yourself or a new mood. Trying new things with what you already have can help you find out a lot about your style. Personally, I like to dress in a way that shows my preferences and creativity. Strives for sustainability rather than chasing fast fashion that changes with the seasons. You spend money on high-quality items that will last and fit your personal style. This not only cuts down on waste and supports ethical fashion, but it also makes sure that your closet is full of dressing to express what you really love and feel great in. Is about making your outside look a true reflection of your inner state and values. It's a test of authenticity that fits with the Stoic goal of living in step with nature. By carefully choosing wardrobe items that match who you are, you tell the world a lot about who you are and what you stand for. And when you do that, you get the attention and respect that come from being real. Beauty is more than just surface impressions. So the next time you choose an outfit, in the middle of your day, ask yourself if it really shows who you are and if it feels right. This thoughtful way of dressing can greatly boost both your self-confidence and your happiness. And how other people see you. Keep things the same. You know how some people are just themselves no matter where they are? The authenticity of someone is truly refreshing and magnetic, no matter who they are or where they are. Being consistent with quality isn't about being stiff or rigid. Being yourself in a world that is always changing is what it's all about. And I can tell you for sure that mastering this will make your social life better, because it builds trust and keeps you steady in a world that isn't. Let's talk about Stoicism for a moment. This ancient philosophy puts a lot of weight on living, no matter what the external circumstances are, according to one's virtues. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius said that our thoughts and words don't make us who we are. They thought you were the same person in private as you are in public because of how you always behaved. That has to do with true character. This is exactly what we mean by consistency. People will know what you stand for if you consistently act in line with your values. How they can expect you to use this in our social interacts from now on. It means that you treat people with the same amount of respect, kindness, and quality. Of getting in touch with everyone, no matter who you're dealing with or how you're feeling. It means that your friends, co-workers, and even passionates receive the same you. This doesn't mean you don't have bad days or mood swings, but rather that you manage these inside states without letting them rule how you act ahead of time. What's the big deal with this when people know what to expect from you? They trust you more because you've shown that you can be counted on. When it comes to professional settings, being reliable in this way can make you a go-to person. Someone who is seen as an essential base of strength and reliability in personal links. People will know that you are a friend who will always be there, not just when things are going well. But when things get tough, the first step to building this kind of consistency is to look at yourself. You need to really know what your values are and what kind of person you want to be. As soon as you have a clear idea, you need to make small decisions every day that show these values. You should always do the right thing, even if it's hard or no one is looking. Plus, it's about being responsible, which can be one of the hardest parts. Being consistent with your words is also important when it comes to how you talk to other people. It's also important to keep your promises. If you say you'll do something, you should. People will continue to think of you as someone who can be relied on if you follow through with this. And trustworthy means also talking in the same way whether you're texting or emailing. When you talk on the phone or in person, your tone and manner should be recognizable as your own. Clear and in line with the values you professionally support. Moreover, Stoicism teaches us. It's possible to stay an economist even when life goes up and down. Many of us do not have it naturally, but it can be learned through activities like mindfulness meditation and logical thinking. These tools help you keep a consistent attitude. Because they give you power over your responses, they let you deal with both success and failure. With a steady heart and mind that drives those around you crazy hard. But here's an important thing to remember. Consistency isn't about being perfect, it's about trying your best. Every day you have to choose to be a little more like the person you want to be. You want to be that person, and every consistent action you take is a step toward that goal. More fully. And remember that consistency also means forgiving everyone and kind to yourself when you go off path. It's about getting back on track with your values, not beating yourself up. Consistency in what you do and how you say it and how you treat others lays the groundwork for stronger, more trusted relationships. It's about showing the world that you can be counted on no matter what happens in the outside world. To be the same thoughtful and considerable person you aim to be. This not only improves your social status, but it also makes you a people others want to be with, are driven to, and respect. So think about what it means to you, and take those true steps today to live it out. The effect, like the work, will be strong and last a long time. As we end today, remember that the real point of improving your social status is not found in changes to the outer appearance, but in the true expression of who you are. Every little bit of authenticity is a step toward more than just being liked, but really valued and respected. Thanks for being here with me today, and being a part of the deep Stoic community if you thought our talk was useful. You might want to watch the next video on the screen, where we go into more detail about how it can be used in real life. Of Stoic principles in everyday life, your path to a more meaningful and respected present continues to be there. Stay strong, stay true, and always, thank you for being here.